Okay. Today is December 5th. We're going to call to order the examining board of electricians. The first order of business is to review the minutes from the last meeting. The last meeting was on August 2nd. At that time, we reviewed a couple of applications for the journeyman's exam. And we were looking for the first time to set up the hands-on portion. And we needed a proctor, which we did find. So that's all we had last time, 3 applications and a search for a proctor. Motion to move those minutes into the record.
Motion. Second.
Right. Approved. Next order of business is reviewing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 applications, 6 journeymen's and 2 master stage electricians. Most of us have had a chance to review these and verify that the information is complete and accurate. Tim is just finishing up the last one. We don't have Bill with us, but when he comes in, if he gets here, we will have him take a look at these as well. So going through the list, Master C electrician, Jeff Flanagan, holder of a license in the city of Albany to do a job at 200 Court Street. That's a big job. And he will need to have journeyman B licenses for all these guys he's got named on here. Because that is going to be a $20 million renovation. Can be the team. But as far as Mr. Flanagan goes, he is licensed in the city of Albany. His application is completely inaccurate. That is Mr. Flanagan. And we all had a chance to look at it. Looks like we approved it. Make a motion to move this.
Make a motion. Second.
Right, Flanagan's approved. Next up, we have Keith Withers. Keith Withers did not provide his exam results. He does have a notarized letter from Panko saying that he has the appropriate amount of hours. I am holding off on this one until we can get a confirmation of his passing result, exam result from the
How you doing?
Pearson View. Next up, we have Timothy Thompson. Passing results from Pearson View. Appropriate amount of hours.
Yep, second floor.
Looks like we all reviewed it and liked it. Anybody have a
Motion to pass.
motion?
Okay, no problem.
Thompson,
Yep, sir. Bye.
Master C,
What's it
James Weebolt is gonna hook up a Generac generator up on Kenilworth Drive. He is a licensed master electrician in the city of Rochester. Everybody reviewed it.
Motion to
Likes that
approve.
one. Second that.
Second.
Approved. Michael Durenda, journeyman application, appropriate hours, passing score, complete application. Everybody approved that one.
Motion. Second.
Approved. That was Brenda. Almost done, guys, halfway through. Evan Brigham, passing score, appropriate hours, notarized letter, complete application.
Motion. Approve. Second.
Okay,
Bill will be here in about 2 minutes, he says.
so you can go through those. Jim Felter, appropriate hours, passing score, complete application, journeyman. That's Felter,
Second.
okay. So we got Withers. No, Revolt. Now we have the last one, Drew Saunders, journeyman license application, has 4,400 hours with university. Working as directly under a master electrician doing electrical work. And a lot of documentation showing that he worked as the maintenance crew, that his boss was an electrician. But some of the work he did was electrical related, but I don't know that it really says that he's
Right,
9,000 hours as an electrician under a master or apprentice program.
right. Most of it says, he's an assistant.
Yeah, that's to take the test, right?
Did he even take the test? He was, I didn't see the test. Was that-
No, I don't think he's taking it yet.
Right here.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got a pass.
That's one of those tricky ones. Do we make them work for 5 more years? Or what do you get? No, it would be what, a couple more years, 2.5 more years. As an electrician, what's his current position?
He is your signal electrician for the city.
He is?
And
I
that,
thought he worked at BU.
no, he's your signal electrician for the city of Binghamton. And actually, that job description called for a master's license. But they hired him anyway, because I don't think they could find anybody.
Okay, but as a signal electrician, is he working under you?
Not under me. He's
So
working,
he's not even working under a master electrician now.
no. Because that, if you go up to personnel, we're supposed to have a master's license.
About
to
Billy
take that
Elder?
Position.
Who's Billy Elder?
Billy Elder's the supervisor of the shops over there.
Is he a master electrician?
No.
What's your gut feeling on this, guys?
Well, they've got him out there doing the job.
It's under a master electrician. I mean, I mean, that's what the requirements say, is it has to be under a master. We don't know if he's doing it right or doing it wrong. If you're working under a master, you're developing good skills and good habits.
They don't have, other than him, if who doesn't have a license, I assume, because I do not find him on the city's website as being licensed.
Well, he's trying to get it now, so I would venture to say he does not have a license.
Exactly.
Otherwise it wouldn't.
But
be
I didn't
compliant.
hire him. There's somebody upstairs.
Yeah,
that-
no, all right, so let's just go back to the merits of the application. Does anybody feel that he's
Well,
qualified to take the journeyman's hands-on exam?
if he takes the exam and passes it, I got no problem.
Okay,
I don't,
Um,
I'd rather wait till Bill gets here to see
Yeah.
what he says. It's just,
It on the surface doesn't appear as though he's been properly supervised.
but if he took both exams and passed them, would you be confident that he could perform work as a journeyman electrician?
well, here's the deal. Danny Merkel hired him without a license. You look at the application for that job, you're supposed to have a master's.
Yeah.
license.
But
So-
not the hiring process so much, Kevin, with the city of Binghamton and where they are with their, ability to find qualified candidates, but as far as taking the test goes, would you, as an electrician?
I'll defer to the electricians.
I mean, he hasn't worked under, like, you're supposed to work under a master for,
Yeah.
I will defer to Tom and Bill on that one, because I work here and I don't want anybody getting
Well, I don't think this is gonna
cranked at me.
look at if the
Listen,
job requires him
listen.
to be a master, this isn't gonna help him retain employment. This isn't what that's about.
I questioned it when Danny hired him.
Right.
And I was kind of brushed off, so I stayed right out of it. Because it didn't have my name on it, so I could care less what they do.
Okay.
Well,
do we hold this for,
kind of in a
have
warm
Bill
body
look at it
phase
as
right
well?
now with the city of Binghamton.
Yeah, Bill, oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we'll have Bill look at all these,
Yeah.
I know, I know.
but
Some of the
if
street
we already
lights,
have
484
three out of,
basing them.
5
You better
approved,
know what the
Sure,
hell you're doing.
right.
they're approved, so even if Bill doesn't like these,
touch
they
the
can
wires
still
with the same.
pass.
Sure, yeah. Exactly, it's just
but with
this guy
that
here.
one,
The
if we
one
have
side of it,
kind of a
they're
split,
saying
we
you
can,
have to
we can wait for Bill. Did you say Bill was on his way in?
Yeah, that's who called me. He said he'd be here in 5 minutes.
Okay,
I'd like to get his take on this.
yeah, all right, if we can just sit tight for a minute. That's the one that he really needs to review on the record and see what he says.
So out of all that documentation, how much of that is electrical? That he's got?
4411,
And that was,
4,411 hours, I think he had from the SUNY Binghamton.
but that's not a master, he's not working under a master.
He was for what, 4411 of that first document under his
Well, I
application
don't know if there's maintenance supervisor
think in
over there was a
addition-
master.
to working as an electrician.
The only master I knew over SUNY Binghamton is 17. The other 17.
So what was this? It was assigned to work directly under a licensed electrician for the period of 2019 to 21. I don't even know if he was an electrician or just worked under one. Yeah, that's really kind of unclear. I mean, he wasn't in an apprenticeship program.
you know what, I'd have him clean that up and reapply and just say, look, if you worked 4411. You know, the letter from your supervisor and the letter from the HR was sufficient, but it doesn't really make you an apprentice electrician.
Well, but at least if you show us some evidence that he was working under a master electrician at least.
Yeah, well.
Not really doing it.
So this only says you have to have 9,000 hours on the job electrical experience under a duly licensed electrician,
Oh, not master electrician.
duly licensed electrician.
I think a master.
If you've enrolled in or have enrolled in an apprenticeship program, then you need 8250 of on the job training and completed, you know, the education portion before applying. Yeah. But it says electrical experience. I think that's what so he worked under an electrician. He's got two things. The hours are only 4411. And can we confirm by looking at that it was electrical experience? That longer letter from the supervisor says
Mhm.
a lot of things were assigned to him while he worked for this duly licensed electrician, but not all of them exactly.
Was he painting?
Electrical
telephone poles or
experience.
something?
Oh, no, it was. Said he looked at,
Yeah,
one line
planning,
said he looked at transfer switches after they installed. He didn't install one, but he looked at it.
right. Maintaining electrical motors, generators, automatic controls.
Stage lighting, plugging stuff in.
Yeah,
It's an unconventional application compared to the other 9 or 8 that we just went through. It's
just
not traditional.
His training hours aren't clearly defined.
and he's still the short on the 44. He's got the 4400, right? Gotta have.
Yeah, that's not 9 or 8250.
So. I mean, maybe he can get some, I'd give him probably credit for the 44, but. Yeah, that'd be kind of a stretch.
And he may have been hired on, I don't know what the circumstances were. He may have been told you got so long to get a license. But I do know that application says you need a master's license for that
So
job.
this wouldn't get him out of a jam either, because even with this, you gotta work for 2 years before you can apply for the master license. And look, if he was just, you know, he could maybe pass the written. I've never taken the written. I have no idea what's on it, but you know, when it comes time to do the hands-on, if you can't wire up a 3 and 4-way switch and a starter and do some conduit bending, then that's where we see that have had hands-on experience or not.
Well, you just, the written part, you just gotta know how to research that code
Is it open book?
with your
Yeah.
code book, yeah.
Okay, so
You just
that's,
gotta be able to look through it.
but drawing a single line diagram for the starter and then wiring one up is different from looking at a transfer switch.
Yeah.
Somebody else did.
And the reason they couldn't find qualified people to apply for it is they don't wanna pay them what the job should be paying.
That's pretty much across the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying.
Not just here, that's everywhere. So, all right. So Tom was saying maybe the 44.
Yeah, that's
But
what I
it's
would
still
say.
not enough. All right.
That's a long 5 minutes, Bill.
I know. Well, you know, if he didn't walk in with all this metal stashed in his clothing, they wouldn't have to shake him down at the security gate. Wave the wand over him 5 or 6
Well,
times.
it's like the guy that came to meet with Lori this morning.
So if this is
Secure-
2019 to 21. How long's he been here? A couple of years?
Well, I'd say going on a year anyway.
6 months, all right, but that's only 2 years. What do you, I mean, really, 40 times 52 is
2,000 hours a year.
He isn't working under
You
anybody
should have
over there.
5 years. He's showing us 2.
He isn't working under anybody over there that's got a license either.
So, and this guy said. She didn't say, Joanne did not say how many years, but he was a retired maintenance supervisor. This one says. Say how many years? May 19. Okay, in 19, so in 19, he went to work for the electrical department. Under a duly licensed electrician. So
Right.
that, so this
That's where the
hour
44
from 19 to 21, he does have the 4411. Cause he's working in the electrical
Under-
department under a,
Like,
this guy's saying prior to that, he worked for him. So 2019 to 21, 4411. But what he did until 2019. How long he did it, we don't really know. And so this one says, yeah, he was a maintenance assistant from 17. And a repair assistant of 17 to 18, so that's still only 4 years.
Versus never in place to park.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Sorry about that.
So this was
If you want to look those over.
maintenance assistant. And repair assistant, sounds kind of like the same stuff. So even with his maintenance and repair, he's still got 4 hours or 4 years. Which I don't see as adding up to 9,000 unless he did a bunch of overtime.
Right, and working under the electrician.
Yeah, only
license
half
was
of it
only-
is really valid at face value. All right, Oh, I see what he's saying here. This is the. So he's saying for those 2 years that he was a maintenance assistant, maintenance repair, he had 5,600 hours. It's like he did a bunch of overtime. Yeah, a lot of overtime, 20 hours here. 37 hours here. All right, so this is the 5697 hours wise. If it all counted, he'd have enough, but I'm getting the feeling that the 4411 is what counts.
Yeah, we looked at those, all look good. Everybody had the hours, documentation. Passing.
One guy in there that didn't have his test, and that was Withers.
Yep.
Bill Withers didn't have his exam results in there. We're gonna call him and ask him to submit that.
Okay.
Everybody else had everything they needed. Did you lose his test results?
No, baby, oh, I did not. I don't lose anything.
Except for Boscow's secret shopper cards.
Never lose that.
I keep them in Binghamton.
Kevin's laminated on a lanyard.
It's easier to walk over there than try to find a place to park.
So this guy Drew
I did
worked at
that.
SUNY
Pulled out.
and
Hasn't
So,
happened yet.
back here. he's passed the written
Right.
and he's got 4,400 hours under a licensed electrician.
In the electrical department,
Right.
but then he's trying to claim 5,600 hours as a repair assistant and a maintenance assistant. Which he has the hours, he showed us with the overtime, he's got the hours. And the guy he worked for was a retired electrician, but we're stuck on whether or not that was valid electrical experience.
Well, he was a retired maintenance supervisor, right?
Yeah,
Or not an electrician.
he was an electrician.
Oh, he was. an
Yeah,
electrician?
but we don't know that because the maintenance supervisor was an electrician, that his employee did a bunch of electrical work.
Oh, I gotcha.
Well, wouldn't he
I
have to do
thought the
electrical work
supervisor
if he
was a
was
licensed
repairing
electrician.
electrical?
Yeah,
This
but
is
not
the
so.
guy, this is the guy.
That's different
Danny
from working with
provided
landing or
the
tank
city
or Mac,
electrician
you know,
there.
that's,
The application says you should be a master licensed electrician.
I mean, even if
Right.
after
And
that
they
we
hired
did
this kid
electrical,
anyway.
that's still a
I should
little
do it at
fuzzy.
the time. But I got blown off, so I stayed right on, but.
He seems to clarify some issues there.
I'm gonna be in the fifties this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish it'd make its mind up so I can get rid of the head cold or whatever keeps coming without change.
Listen, no snow, I'm a happy
I
camper.
don't think it's contagious.
No. The laughing.
It was contagious 2 weeks ago.
Corona.
No, it wasn't that.
So what's a consensus on this guy?
I just think that as a requirement, you're supposed to have all your hours under a licensed electrician. He's
Right,
got 4,400
but he doesn't have the total hours.
and he's got the rest of his time in like,
Maintenance.
maintenance assistant
And now he works for the
It's
city
SUNY.
of Binghamton.
in the
So I was
signal.
a signal electrician there.
So it's kind of like on the fence.
Is this Dunlap's job that he's holding?
No, it was Jimmy Aiken's job.
Where was
Jimmy
Dun-
was,
where was Dunlap wasn't even in science and signals. He was in electrical.
he never had a license either.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna argue with what, you know, the city's decided to do. We're just saying as an applicant for a journeyman's license, do we feel like he's qualified? If he's, you know, had the experience.
So the.
He fails it, he fails it.
Right, you can take it
Give
again.
it a shot,
Take
exactly.
it again, though. Well, once we allow him to take the practical exam, if he fails it, he can go back and take it again, the approval. certificate.
No,
What do you think on this?
we'll create a precedent, that's all I'm saying.
I think we all deferred to the electricians.
I mean, I don't know.
He's not working as an electrician right now, or under an electrician right now.
Right. And say he worked at Sony under a licensed guy for 4,500 hours,
Right,
and then he doesn't have, like, our requirement is that we're supposed to have the hours.
right. So he doesn't have the hours under a licensed electrician.
Right.
He doesn't have the hours under a licensed electrician. Receiving electrical experience exclusively. When
Right,
you're a maintenance assistant and a repair assistant, your boss might be an electrician, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everything you're doing is electrical experience.
yeah, I wouldn't want to set a precedence that far off on the hours, right?
Yeah. Because that's what we stick to, the hours all the time.
Yep.
You gotta have the hours and you gotta have them documented and
Listen, the application for that signal electrician's job is to get.
Notarized.
Okay.
you know what I mean, nothing against the guy, but
No motion to approve.
They couldn't get it. Cause they don't.
So that was not approved, right?
I
right.
said no motion to approve.
No.
or Nobody's making that motion. Okay,
Right.
all right,
The rest of these look fine.
okay. Well. That concludes the auditions for today. Thank you, everybody, for making an appearance, and we will meet again.
By the hair of my chinny chin chin.
Maybe in January. We got a whole lot of applications all of a sudden, so I don't know where that came from, but we're gonna set up the practical exam for mid-January at the Union Hall. We'll see if we can get Charlie to proctor. We'll send at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these guys through and see how they do.
Do we know which code they're using in the exam?
The only reference I have to it is the exam number, which is G17N.
Right?
And Jeremy, when he was here, went through that to make sure that that was comparable to the exam that we were doing through Prometrics.
Right,
So this is through the International Code Council. They're the ones who wrote the exam.
yep,
It's a nationally standardized exam. In fact, we've seen that from other municipalities out of state saying, I did the G17N.
the question came up that they're trying, I think a lot of the guys are working with a 2020 electric code, but there's a 2023,
Actually, the building and codes book
right?
that references electrical code right now says the 2017 NEC. So when you're building something to code,
It
you're
is,
building it to the 2017. We always lag behind
right?
what's available because it has to be vetted by the state before it's adopted. It takes them years to do that.
Yeah, I remember that part. The only thing is I'm questioning is which one is the exam based on?
ICC, I would say it's probably based on the higher, it's probably on the 20,
Whatever.
probably not the 23 at this point, but it'll be revised.
Right,
But it's probably based on the 20 NEC, and New York Code is saying you need to perform according to the 2017. So if these guys are passing it, they don't
Okay.
usually get more lenient with time.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
become more exact.
Well, no, because they were asking me, because if it's on the latest code, which it probably is, it's probably on the 20 code.
Yeah.
What would happen if they showed up with a 20 code book instead of a 23? Would they be able to use? You know what I mean?
Not
That's-
not much changes in the code. I've seen 5 revisions now since I started.
Right,
It doesn't get more lenient. It doesn't get more restrictive, but gets more precise, more
Yeah.
exact about how they word things.
Yep. Yeah,
But
there's
and
a
I
few
would
things
say
that
it's a very small percentage of codes that change.
yeah.
It's like, one.
Oh, I
two-
agree. I just don't want somebody to get turned away because they don't have the right code book. You know?
Yeah.
That was the question. Do
Oh.
know.
You know what I would do is call Pearson View.
you have a number for him?
No,
Or can you send me
I could
one?
get that. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, if you can
They're-
send it
they're
to
like
me.
right up there in Endicott.
Or are they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, the Kaplan Testing Center.
Yeah.
You go to study for the SATs. They do exams for all kinds of healthcare industry, for us, for other people. It's all they do
Gotcha.
is, yeah. But they'll tell you what they're gonna allow their applicants to come in with.
Right.
I'll make a note, call Pearson View. And give a full written report to Bill.
Shoot.
Okay. Well, that concludes your business for today.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thanks, Bob.
Happy holidays, everyone.
As well.
Well, I'll be over in
Yes.
a couple weeks.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks for accommodating